Okay, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys my workflow for building quiz questions. I have a four-step process: design, build, preview, and done. We start off with designs. I use Figma for designs. I'll do mockups just like what you see here in front of you, and I'll share that with the client, and we'll go back and forth until the client approves these mockups. Once the mockups are approved, I'll start out by building one quiz question at a time. So we're going to recreate this quiz question today. And starting with this quiz question, the first thing I'll do is open up some notes, and I will extract the information I need from the quiz question into my notes. And my notes follow the four sections of every quiz question, which are directions, question or problem, responses, and then finally the answer. Once I have these notes ready, I can go and start building. So let's move over to Quiz Composer and start building this quiz question. First thing we're going to do is create a new quiz, and then we're going to open up our notes and start with the first section, which is directions. Now, directions and quiz question are the one and the same for this particular question. So I'm going to copy my text, and I'm going to come over here to header, and I'm going to paste this into header, and I'm going to save it. The next thing you want to do once you get a quiz deployed and you have some information in it, you go to preview, right? Because remember, our workflow is build, preview, build, preview. Back and forth, back and forth. All right, I'm looking at this preview and I think the text is too small. So I'm gonna go back to compose. I'm gonna change the size to 2, save it, preview. Okay, this looks good. Now I'm gonna check it against my mockup, and I think proportionally it looks good. I think it actually looks better here. I like the font and I like the size of it. So I'm happy with the directions. Now we're going to move back to our notes and we're going to go to responses. Now the responses I have, you can see from the mockup, are a 2x2 grid of images. And we have the perfect tool for that. So go back to Quiz Composer. We're going to go use our grid tool. Grid tool comes by default with images, so it's the perfect tool. So we're going to edit this, open up our notes, and we're going to start putting in the URLs to our images. Yep. And one feature you might notice is that the title name is extracted from the name of the image. So it's a convenience function, a convenience feature for you. So I'm going to save that and preview it. Okay, this looks good. I don't like this text here. I'm going to go back to compose and I'm going to edit that text out. It's just default text. Save that. Back to preview. Okay, this looks great. I'm happy with this. I'm going to double check that against my mockup. I think it looks good compared to the mockup. So now I'm going to go back to compose and move on to the next section, which is the last section. It's answers. So if we go back to edit, we know that Yangtze is the correct one. And while we're here, I noticed something else. Say, we go to preview, we don't have any of the titles. Notice that the titles are missing. So we're going to go back to Composer and edit, and we're going to add the titles. Show title, show title, show title, show title. Save. All right, great. Now the titles are in, and the correct answer is in as well. We're ready to do our last preview and test this question out. One last thing I don't like is the capitalization. I think it would look better because this is a proper noun if we capitalize this. So I'm going to do yellow river, and I'm going to do Yangtze River, and we're going to do Huangpu River, and we're going to do Ju River. Save. And now we'll preview. Okay, this looks great. Let's test out the wrong answer. Submit. This looks good. Tells you that the answer is wrong. Gives you the correct answer. Test out the right answer. Submit. This looks good. Now we're ready for the last step, which is preview. Right? We've gone back and forth here, and now we're ready to do our last preview before we're done. So we're going to go to preview quiz, and this is just like what a student would see. So you're going to put in your name, student John Doe, John Doe at school.com.edu, submit. Okay, they're going to submit the right answer because they know that Yangtze is the biggest river, submit, and they get it correct. And they're all done. We're all set. So that's the workflow from design to build and preview iteratively and to completion. That's how you should do each and every one of your quiz questions. I want to thank you for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.